What's up guys? Today we're going to check out John Wick Chapter 4 on 4K. I'm not going to get into how good or bad the movie is, I'm just going to share some of my thoughts on the audio and video quality. Now let's go over a few tech specs. The movie was shot in 4.5K, it's got a 4K DI, it's rated R, runtime is 169 minutes, aspect ratio is 239:1, and the audio is in Dolby Atmos. Everyone seems to love these John Wick Atmos mixes, so let's see how active this Atmos mix is. If you don't know what the Atmos Object Viewer is, you can find a link that tells you all about it down below in this video's description. At about 29 minutes in, we get the first of many shootouts. And as you can see, this is mostly a static mix that stays in a 7.1.4 configuration. There's the occasional dynamic objects, and the wide channels do pop on here and there, but it's pretty much 7.4. There's some good directional effects with gunshots coming from different lower channel speakers, and plenty of musical extension finds its way to the high channels. And this pertains to every one of the 54 shootouts in the movie. Now there is one cool part at about an hour 9 minutes in where you can hear that Russian woman come walking around the left side of the room up to the front speakers, which you can follow along within the Atmos viewer. Being a John Wick movie, this doesn't exactly have a lot of subtlety, but there is some decent background ambiance at 56 minutes in where John and the girl are on a train. It's an immersive feeling that places you inside the train's compartment. Now, unlike the first John Wick movie, which had that really cool rainy scene at the cemetery with rain dropping from the high channels, the rain scene at 57 minutes in Chapter 4 has absolutely nothing coming from the high channels, although there is plenty of rainy ambiance in the lower speakers. As for bass response, I recall the ridiculous amounts of bass thumping my chest when John is throwing those punches at the start of the movie when I saw this at the theater. However, I didn't get the same amount of tactile response in this digital mix. It was substantially lower. The gun shootouts did sound good, but could still use more kick, and the bottom end was lacking as well compared to the other movies on disc. If you're new to the channel and you're into home theater and like to know if a movie is worth playing on your surround sound setup, or want to know about the latest and greatest in audio and video gear, then tap the subscribe button for new weekly videos. And also, thank you to all my Patreon and YouTube member subscribers for supporting the channel and making this purchase of John Wick Chapter 4 possible on iTunes, so I can bring you, the home theater movie loving community, this 4K review. If you want to join Patreon or the YouTube membership, you can find links down below in this video's description. For video quality, this looks just as good as the other John Wick movies. It's clean, it's crispy, it's digitally pristine. It's shot digitally, so there is no film grain at all. Detail's razor sharp, so all those close-ups reveal every minute detail like pores and wrinkles and every strand of hair. The HDR has a max CLL of 2458 and a max FALL of 636. So while the overall picture brightness isn't Mario Brothers bright, those specular highlights can make you squint. Lights and muzzle flashes pop right off the screen, and there's plenty of vivid flashing neon colors throughout the entire movie. Black levels were extremely dark and contrasty while keeping shadow detail visible, although there are some really dark scenes where detail looks to be crushed. But keep in mind that this is a digital stream, so it might reveal more details on the physical disc. If you liked the other John Wick movies and need something to show off how crispy and colorful your display is, then John Wick 4 is definitely a contender. So I'm gonna have to go with a 9 for video. For audio, this is an aggressive mix with plenty of overhead activity and a ton more lower activity from bullets flying in every direction. The bass could use more output, but overall, it's a loud, fun mix that should keep you awake for the entire movie. Oh, and I did have to raise the volume about 6 dB to get it to the same level as Part 2, which was on disc. So I'm gonna have to go with an 8.5 for audio. Keep in mind this is a digital stream, so the disc could possibly look and sound better. And if you're wondering, but Shane, why review the digital stream and not the Kaleidoscape, since the Kaleidoscape is essentially the same as the disc? Well, Kaleidoscape hard drive space is pretty damn expensive, so if it's not a movie that I'm going to watch multiple times, then I'm going to have to review the digital stream. If I love the movie, then it earns hard drive space. And of course, when the disc comes out, then that goes straight to the Zapiti. So what are your thoughts on John Wick Chapter 4 on 4K? Have you seen it, and what'd you think of the transfer? Also, do you think this is the best in the John Wick saga? Leave your comments down below and let me know. As always guys, thanks for watching. If you want, you can follow us on social media, and if you'd like to support the channel and get exclusive content or great discounts on audio and video gear, then stop by our Patreon page. Be sure to like this video if you found it useful and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you again in the next video.